So, what is the role of the Ents officer?
The way I see the role of the Ents officer is to provide entertainments for the students on campus, but that kind of incorporates all the kind of Erasmus students, your undergraduates, your postgraduates, so just to make sure everyone on campus is entertained and that there's something provided for them at all times as well.
And why should students vote for you and not Ron?
I have a fair bit of experience in entertainment and with the Senior Society in UCD, and I've also worked closely with a lot of the past Ents officers, so I think I have a fairly good idea on the job, what it entails, and kind of what's needed, what's new, and what can be brought in.
How do you feel this year's Ents officer has done?
I think Stephen did a very good job, like bringing in the likes of LMFAO and stuff like that. It's probably one of the biggest acts we've ever had in. I think there was a few things that didn't go his way, acts cancelling in the bar and stuff, but that's kind of out of Stephen's control. Like, but I think he did a relatively overall good job. I'll be voting for the introduction of the new constitution.
And why is that?
I think overall in the long run, I think the constitution will do a lot for the union. I think it will take a few years to kind of develop, set into place and stuff like that. But I think in the long run, the way the union is at the minute, I think it's the right move, and it makes the union more transparent as well, which is something I'd like to see.
And if it were to pass, how do you feel about the changes to the Ents officer position?
That'd be one part of the constitution I wouldn't fully agree with. I think the Ents executive forum that's been put forward, I think it's too big. It's far too broad. I think just too many positions in it. And one of my main fears as well would be that bringing in an Ents manager, they're not really grounded with the students. It could be a 50-year-old man, it could be a 20-year-old man, or woman, sorry. They're not really grounded with the students, and that they might know the tastes and current trends coming up through the market. So I think that's something I would be worried about.
Okay. Would you accept a pay cut next year?
Yeah.
How large pay cut?
I don't mind. I'm not doing it for the money or anything like that. Like, I'm doing it for the experience. It's something I'm interested in.
How much do you think you can live off? Basically, what would be your minimum?
Live off a week.
How low would it have to be for you to say, I can't do this?
Don't know. Like, I think I'd be happy enough doing it. Like, I think it's an area I'm really interested in and stuff. So it's more for the experience. Once I was able to cover my living expenses, which would be like $400 a month for rent. So I don't know, maybe $150 a week, but I should be happy enough to cover my own expenses.
Having already been involved in like promotions, would you keep the current exclusivity deal with Signature Group, or would you move to another promotions group, or would you leave the whole kind of like promotions group out of Ents?
I wouldn't stick with the exclusivity deal anyway. I don't think that worked well at all for the union.
Anyone or just with Signature?
With anyone, I just think it's a bad deal. I think it leaves the union very tied down. And I think one of the biggest complaints this year from class reps was I had a commerce third year student come to me the other day and explained to me that they had to do a class party in Tripod on a Wednesday night, and it's just not their thing. They probably want to go to Coppers or D2 or somewhere else. So I think it's important to just have a full balanced Ents year where you can cater for students every night of the week and different age groups.
Okay. And how do you feel about the possibility of elected officers profiteering from Ents ventures? Aside from their assigned to do here?
Yeah, like I don't agree with it at all, and it's clearly stated in the new constitution as well. That'll be kind of.
Do you think it has been an issue?
No, I don't think so. Not in recent years as much. Maybe in the past it might have been an issue, but that was well before my time. So I'm only working off rumours and hearsay and stuff like that. And obviously that spreads a lot greater. But no, I take it. It's a full-time job starting in July for a year. I think that's the way you have to look at it. Like, you're going to work full-time. This is your sole purpose. As an Ents officer, you're going to do your kind of standard 9 till 5 or 10 to 6. I think the hours are. But then as well, like if you have gigs on in the bar outside, you're going to have to be there as well. So I don't really see where you'd have extra time to fit that other stuff in.
And how do you plan on reducing current Ents expenditure?
Yeah, I think my budget's going to be cut as well, which won't be great. But one thing I'm looking at doing is kind of bringing stuff back to campus.
That's been promised before. It's been promised numerous times. How are you actually going to make that?
It's never been promised by me. I I met with Declan Ryland, who's the manager of the bar. So I chatted a few ideas about him, stuff I'd like to see done next year. He was very positive about it, good feedback. The new form bar is opening next door, and it's going to be more of a bar. Do you know the student bar is kind of like a venue? The form bar is just going to be a bar. It's going to be teams, more kind of sports teams coming in for a few casual drinks. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna. So that'll be a nice little hub in the centre of college. Then you'll have the cinema and theatres open as well. And I just think there's more facilities on campus with the student centre open that I can actually ground stuff on campus.
It's never been a very popular option for students. They often want to head into town at the weekends. The place clears out. How are you going to actually, apart from even having the facilities, how are you going to keep them here?
Keep them on campus.
Yeah.
You can do that. Like there's two ways you can do it. You have to build a buzz about it. So I mean, Black Monday Student Bar is one of the biggest buzzes of the year around campus, and I just think it's crazy how so many students can be in the bar one Monday and then just don't really want to go back, don't show an interest. So working with kind of first and second years especially, we're going to try and build up a huge rapport with the student bar. It's not the most attractive venue at the minute as well, so we're looking to see can we do anything about that. And then I want to have a massive Ents crew as well, which I think is essential to your Ents year. And I think if you have an Ents crew littered with kind of like first, second, third, fourth years, everyone. But if you kind of get a good following with an Ents crew, they'll tell their friends that like, oh, everyone's going to the student bar tonight, and that kind of helps pull people down. So I think having people on the ground is the way to do it.
There are a number of grammatical errors and one repeated paragraph in your manifesto. Did you make sure to have it proofread?
We did have a proofread. That it's the freshers, the alcohol-free Ents and the freshers day paragraph. The alcohol-free Ents is duplicated. We only spotted that late. We sent back a couple of grammatical changes to get proofread, and then when we got it back, we put it in, submitted it, and we just noticed that paragraph has changed. But I will be addressing that online. I'll be doing a separate video for it, just to address that section in particular, and then we'll be putting what version I would like to see printed up online and try and rectify that.
How can we expect you to deal with the documents and legal jargon of booking acts and organising events like in your manifesto is quite sloppy?
That was just human error on my part, like sending stuff through. I booked acts before in the past. I've never had any bad feedback coming back. I've always kept in contact with the acts I've booked. I'm well capable of doing it. Like that was a mistake on my part.
I just noticed a number of mistakes throughout.
Yeah, like English and stuff wouldn't be my strongest point, and spelling. Obviously, it's no excuse because you have a spell checker and stuff. But it's just never been my strongest point.
In your manifesto, you state that you will have an alternating poker and FIFA night in the bar every Monday. Ladies, don't worry, there will be Zumba for yourselves on Tuesday. Is this a little bit sexist?
No, I don't think so. Like poker and FIFA, I didn't say it was specifically for males. Anybody can play. The Zumba I've seen is a huge trend that's kicked off with a lot of women, my sister, my mother, and some girls on campus that I'm in class with and stuff have said it to me. So I just thought it was a kind of a fun way of phrasing it. Like if lads want to come down and do Zumba, that's grand. I don't think it should be limited to certain sexes.
Yeah, what are you bringing to the UCD ball this year?
Oh well, in my manifesto I have it down that I'd like to team the UCD ball in kind of a way. Obviously, one of the major pulling points of the UCD ball is that it has that whole kind of like festival feel throughout the day, where everyone's just kind of kicking back in the grass and all that stuff. But my kind of main concern is that people will get a bit, maybe not bored of it, but they'll just get used to it and it won't be anything new. If you've got to 4 UCD balls in a row, and they're all pretty much the same, you need something different. So my idea was to start a competition where people can send in suggestions and team ideas, and it's something that we could integrate throughout the ball. A few I put in my manifesto were like the barn dance, the frat party, and the full moon party. They're very easily done. Like the barn dance is kind of like a few hay bales and a bit of country music just playing in sitting areas, like give out cowboy hats, stuff like that. Frat party, you could have beer bongs going around, red cups, super soakers. Full moon party is more or less just UV paints, glow sticks, and I just think it might add a different dimension to it. It mightn't work at all. I feel it will work, and just kind of make today just a touch more exciting. It's obviously not something I'd like to have a copycat lineup with the Trinity ball, so I'd be looking to put our own kind of spin on it. And then I think people's tastes in music between Trinity and UCD vary a fair bit, so I'd like to cater for that as well.
How can one entire university have a different music taste to another kind of something that you involved?
Basically, like from working and stuff, I've seen the lineups from the UCD and the Trinity Ball lineup in the past.
Is that what the taste of the Ents officers as opposed to the actual students themselves?
No, I don't think so. I think basically what's done, well, obviously it would have some influx on the taste of the Ents officers, but I think when you're booking a UCD Ball, you have to book the best act possible and the one that's going to reach the widest catchment area. And it might sometimes kind of come across very poppy, very mainstream, but I think that's kind of what sells the ball. And like you can't really afford to make a loss in the UCD Ball. If you book kind of weird and kind of strange acts and everyone's like, well, I don't really know who they are, do you know what I mean? You could lose a fortune and you could go to Union and bankruptcy or further into that anyway. So I think when you're booking acts, you have to cater towards the general population for most of it, especially for the bigger ones, to make sure that your tickets sell, and then you can start bringing in kind of smaller, different types of acts that will reach a wider audience.
So it's training would be sort of more niche.
Shouldn't you have strange taste in music? I don't know. Just when you're buzzing around the campus, it's like a different mix of people. I don't know, and I think people in Trinity are a lot more into their music, kind of. But there's a greater amount of people who kind of like follow music and DJ and stuff like that. That's just my opinion.
Okay.